Hi YouTube, Unkert here. In this video, we're going to write to a CSV file, and we're going to use the class we created in the previous video on my tutorial on classes and objects. So you'll see from the previous tutorial, we created 4 instances of the class E001 through E004. I'm going to comment those out, but I'm going to continue to use this file because we're importing that class, which is this file, to determine the total salary of the employee and also the weekly paycheck. Check out that video if you haven't seen it already. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this file, and what I'm going to do is just comment out this stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do to write to a CSV file is I first need to create it. And I can do that by giving it a variable name. So I'll say CSV underscore file equals open, and then within parentheses, the first argument I'm going to give the name of the file. Okay, so it's going to be employee, and I'm going to do information. You'll see I've done this a few times. I'm going to do -3.csv. We need the .csv. And then the second argument I give into this open function is what I want to do with the file, and I want to append to the file. So I'm going to use this just A within quotes for append. Okay, and I'm first going to write on the top of the file 4 categories. So I'm going to type CSV underscore file equals write, and then name, comma, because a CSV file is a comma separated value file. So I'm going to do years experience, and then a comma, and then salary, and then a comma, and then bi-weekly paycheck amount. And I'm going to do a /n at the end of this for a new line character. Okay? And you'll see it's giving me an error here because I did CSV file equals right. It's got to be dot right. Okay. All right. So now what I need to do is I'm going to create an empty list that's going to contain lists of employees. Okay. So each employee is going to be a list with the name, the year's experience, the salary, and the paycheck amount. Okay. And I'm going to put those in a larger list. So I'm going to say employees underscore list, and I'm just going to have an empty list to start. And then I'm going to take in data from the console so someone can enter in employee data, and then we can put that data in the list, and then we can go through the list and write to the file. Okay, so I'm going to say while true, and I'm going to have a variable keep underscore looping. And I'm going to set that equal to an input where I say, do you want to enter another employee? Okay. And then I'm going to have y or n. Okay. Below that, what I'm going to have is an if-else condition. I'm going to say if keep looping, and I'm going to use dot lower. So if they enter uppercase, it's going to transform it to lowercase, just so we can handle more potential answers. So I'm going to equals n, or keep looping dot lower equals no. Okay, so I can either enter any capital form of no, any capital form of n, but if they enter anything else, then we'll just keep looping. Okay, so if that happens, I'm going to break out of the loop. All right. Otherwise, we'll keep looping, and what we'll do is we'll create a variable called name, and I'm going to have an input, and I'm going to say what is the employee's name. Okay. Now, in a more complex program, we could have full name, so on and so forth, but for right now, we'll just have employee's name. This is just demonstrating what we can do, of course. Okay. Then I'll say while true, try, And we're going to get the experience level as a float. So if they don't enter in a number, we're going to have to handle an exception. And I'm going to create a variable called experience underscore level. And I'm going to set that equal to a float. So, and then we're going to pass in the input into the float. So we're going to say an input, how many years has this employee worked? Okay, and let's make sure we spell it correctly. So employee worked. Okay. And then if they correctly enter a float, we're going to break out of that. So we'll do a break. Okay. All right. And let's just over here. Okay. But otherwise, we'll have to accept a value error. Okay. And if there is a value error, what we're going to do is we are going to print you must enter a valid number of years. Okay. All right. And we're getting a little warning here in my IDE, so probably did something wrong. Oh, we are an unused import statement. That's what it's warning me. So don't worry, we're going to use it. We're going to use that class. Okay. All right. So we'll go down here, and then outside of the loop and outside of the else statement, what we're going to do is we're going to say employee data, and that's where we're going to create a list, an empty list for each employee. So we'll say employee data, and then we'll say employee equals employee, the class, so we use the uppercase, and we're going to pass in the arguments of name and experience level. Okay. All right. And remember, we got those from this prior loop. Okay. And then we're going to take our employee data. Hold on one sec. There we go. All right. So we'll go employee data, and we're going to append the name. Okay. And we'll append the other stuff as well. So let me duplicate this line a few times. And what we're going to append is the name, the experience level. We're going to append each employee instance, because we created, or the employee in lowercase here. This here is an instance of the employee class. So what we need to do here is we need to do the employee dot total salary. Okay. And then here we'll do the employee dot paycheck. Okay. All right. So we've got all that stuff there. Okay. And we've appended this to the employee data. Okay. And what we've got to do is also take my employee list and append the employee data to that. So we're going to take the employee list and append the employee data. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go out of here, and we're going to loop through the employee list. So to do that, I'm going to say for I in range, and then we'll use the length function. So we'll have the length of the employee list. Okay. What we're going to do there is we are going to write to our CSV file. Okay. So we're going to say CSV file dot write, and we're going to write the employee list at index I, and that value, because remember, we're passing in the data, is all a list, right? So we pass all that in, so we've got to go at index 0 here. Okay. And then let's copy this, And we also want to write a comma in between each. And this .write method here, it only accepts one argument. So we want to basically put a comma in between each of these. And then this last one here, we just have to put the new line character. Okay, so I'm going to do a /n there. And I've got to change the indices here as well. So this is going to be index 1, this is going to be index 2, and this is going to be index 3. Okay? And then at the end, we need to close our file. So we're going to do CSV file.close. Okay? And at that point, we should be pretty well good to go. Let's see, do we have any warnings? 1 week warning. And yeah, okay. So I think we're good to go. Let's open up the terminal here and run this file. So we'll do Python 3, and this file is classes.py. Do you want to enter an employee? I should have left a space there. I'm going to say yes. Employee's name, Tim. Okay. How many years has the employee worked? Let's say 3 years. Do you want to enter another employee? Yes. Let's say Sarah. Sarah's worked 15 years. Do you want to enter another employee? Yes. Let's do Joe. Joe's worked a half year, so I'm going to enter 0.5. Okay. Do you want to enter another employee? Yes. What's that employee's name? Aaron. Aaron has worked 12 years. Okay. Do I want to enter another employee? No. Okay, and we've got an issue. And here's one issue that I did forget to correct. You notice here it says that the .write method has to take in a string, not an integer. Now remember, this one here is going to be the year's experience. This one here is going to be the total salary. And this one here is going to be the paycheck. All of these are going to be integers. So, well, the first one's going to be a float. But we're going to have to convert these to strings for this function to work. And I'm leaving in this error in recording this video because it's good to show you the errors that software developers make, which they make every day. And teachers make those as well. So I'm teaching you this, but hey, we came up with an error, and now the warning goes away on my IDE. So anyways, so what we probably should do is, I think the file was created, so I'm just going to go up here and create a fourth file. Okay, we wouldn't necessarily do this in a real program, but just to demonstrate so we get a nice clear file. There's nothing written in that previous file. Let's now run my program. Oh, and before I run it, actually, let's fix that error that's bothering me. Do you want to enter another employee? I want to have a space here. I don't like having it right up. It's just a thing that bugs me. Okay, so now let's run the program again. Do you want to enter another employee? Yes or no? Yes, I do. His name is Tim. He's got 3 years experience. Do I want to enter another employee? Yes. Sarah, she's got 15 years experience. Do I want to enter another employee? Yes. Joe, let's test out entering something wrong. He's worked D years. You must enter a valid number of years, okay? How about E? Nope, still not there. 0.5. Ah, that worked. Do you want to enter another employee? Yes. Okay, Aaron. All right, how many years has Aaron worked? 12. Do you want to enter another employee? No. Okay, and the program stops, okay? And if I go here, I have a bunch of employee information, but you see I have 3 and 4. 4 is the one we're going to want to look at. I'm going to go to my drive and let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my Google Drive here and we're going to upload this file and look at it in Google Sheets. And you'll see I've done this a few times already. Okay, so I'm going to say I want a new file here. My internet is slow. And I want to do a file upload. And I want to go to my PyCharm projects here, this Python basics. And okay, so I'm in the folder and I want to upload this employee information for .csv. Let's do that. And I'm going to open it up. And we've got a CSV file with name, years experience, salary, and biweekly paycheck amount. And all the values are entered in. So that's writing to a CSV file using Python. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, could you give it a like and subscribe to the channel? Thanks for watching.